Blessed are the peacemakers. Well, this photo right here has become absolutely iconic. I don't know if you guys watched or saw this. It's been blowing up the entire internet. It seems like it's fake. It seems like it's photoshopped. Like when I first saw it, I thought it was AI in its surreality. The chairs, look at the chairs. It almost looks too perfect. It looks like a scene out of the Matrix. Are we in the Matrix? I don't know. President Trump visited Rome to honor Pope Francis's passing in his funeral, and then Macron, Trump, Zelensky, Keir Starmer of Great Britain, all world leaders were there. I'll show you some clips from that. Wanted to meet and discuss, and this is President Trump and Zelensky meeting right here, one-on-one, mano a mano. Even after, I just want to say this really quickly before I show the video of him bumping Macron out of the meeting. This Zelensky character, I mean, Pierce Morgan just posted on X saying, "I think history will show that Zelensky is one of the greatest heroes and leaders the world has ever known, and I think America should help him more." This little grommet, petulant child, ungrateful gremlin who still doesn't wear a suit, looks like Fidel Castro, showing up at one of the most important events of all time, a Pope's funeral at St. Peter's Basilica at the Vatican. And Pierce Morgan has the audacity to say, after we've given this guy $300 billion of our hard earned taxpayer dollars funneled by the darkest regime in the history of the United States, the Biden Kamala regime, after he blatantly, viciously, vigorously disrespected and insulted our president of the United States inside the White House with his ungrateful ass, he has refused time and time for any talks of peace if they're not on his terms, for any ceasefires if they're not on his terms. He's got the entire European minion, union behind him, including Macron, including Keir Starmer, including Germany and the chancellor there as well. All the while, Americans are literally living, I think the last percentage I checked was 62% of Americans are living paycheck. It's probably a lot higher than that because those are the only ones that were reported, are living paycheck to paycheck, barely able to survive, like we're some kind of third world banana republic democracy, barely able to just, suffice the barest necessity cost of living standards. And we've given this schmuck I don't know about you, but I don't give a rat's ass about Ukraine. I want Russia to have them. Have Russia have them. Do I support Putin? Of course not. Do I think Putin is a tyrannical dictator? Of course. Do I think he's a narcissist, ego megalomaniac? Of course. Is he an enemy of the United States? Yes and no, but more yes than no. I'm sick and tired of Ukraine. I'm sick and tired of seeing this guy. I'm sick and tired of our hard-earned tax dollars going to fund this forever war. Somehow I feel like Schumer, Obama, Biden, Kamala are somehow benefiting from this, Pelosi, in the long run. Because I don't believe for a second they give a rat's ass about us. They give a rat's ass about Ukrainian citizens. They don't give a rat's ass about all the lives lost, all the money lost. They don't care about any of that. But even after all that, even after the blatant disrespect inside the White House Oval Office, our president, blessed are the peacemakers. Our president sits down with this maggot and still has an open heart and still has an open mind and still is willing to make peace, even after being blatantly disrespected. God bless you, President Trump. God bless you and God bless America. We love you. If you feel the same, let me know in the comments down below. Or even if you don't, I want to hear your thoughts. As I always said before, my comments section, don't share links. Any personal ad hominem attacks, they go straight to spam. I don't even watch them. But if you disagree with me, I implore you, I encourage you, give me something substantive. Give me something real. Give me something thoughtful. I will listen to you. And also tell me what you think of this iconic photo. It seems like Trump, unlike any other figure in the history, in the annals of history, especially American history, has been able to produce iconic photo, iconic moment, iconic experience time and time again. This is iconic. Here's the moment where Zelensky and Trump took an aside from the funeral proceedings, and Macron tried to get in on this. Notice the chairs. You'll see 3 chairs, and then Trump in a huge power play move because we love him to death. The American people have spoken. I'll talk about my hat in a second. Tells him, no, no, no. I want to meet with Zelensky one-on-one. Watch this. So there you see Macron coming in. You see the chairs over there. There's 3 chairs. And Trump says, hey, I'm fine. I'm happy you're here. It's fine that you're here, but I want to meet with Zelensky alone, okay? And Zelensky says, yeah, that's fine. Let me just have a chance to meet with him alone. And there you have it. The 2 of them meeting alone. It's not AI, folks. It's absolutely real. Here is the moment that Trump and First Lady, by the way, happy birthday to Flotus, First Lady of the United States of America. It is her 55th birthday today. She looks like she's 25. She looks amazing. We finally have class, good looks, sophistication, cosmopolitan back in the White House instead of Big Mike. Check out this clip of President Trump and the First Lady, whose birthday it is, paying their respects and homage to Pope Francis, who recently passed.
Spread a white silk cloth over the face of the Pope, while Cardinal Camerlengo Farrell sprinkled his body with holy water. A sack containing coins and medals, minted during his pontificate, was then placed in the coffin with the Pope. The lid was placed on the zinc-lined coffin, along with the Pope's pectoral cross, coat of arms, and a plaque with...
I want to share this clip right here. This is an interview snippet from Glenn Beck and President Trump. Listen to what he talked. This was before they met. Listen to what he says about Zelensky.
He the problem? Is Putin the problem? Or is Europe the problem?
So look, Russia's a very big military force, and Ukraine isn't. Without Ukraine, and I'm the one that supplied the javelins to them, so you know I did a lot for them because the tanks got stuck in the mud and then they got javelins, right? And they always say Trump gave the javelins, and it was, in that case, Obama gave sheets. He gave sheets. They sent nothing. But Biden gave money like nobody's ever seen before. $350 billion. $350 billion. Gave military equipment, gave storage. We had massive storage bins full of ammunition, buildings as long as the eye could see, gave the ammunition. What he did is, look, between the border and the this and the that, but this war is so bad. And remember this, I say it here, I say it every time. This is Biden's war, not my war. I'm just trying to end it. And I'm actually ending it, yes, for money, but I'm not ending it for that, number one. I'm ending it because they're losing 5,000 people a week. Young soldiers are being killed, Russian and Ukrainian both. But in the end, Russia has a lot of soldiers, and they have a very big military. And things were said, like when Zelensky was in the Oval Office, I was talking about getting it done, and he starts screaming, but we need security, meaning security after the fact. I said, security? I don't even know if we can get this deal done. He's asking for more, just more and more and more. And he doesn't have the cards, as you know, because you see what's happening over there. He doesn't have the cards. So hopefully he's going to get it done, because I don't believe that Vladimir Putin would be doing this for anybody else but me. A lot of people have said it too. I think he had the idea of going all the way through. I think he's willing to make a deal. And I would say thus far, he's been easier to deal with than Zelensky. Thus far.
So is anybody surprised? Anybody surprised that Zelensky wants more, and more? He has been used to the gravy train, accustomed to getting billions and billions and billions of dollars year after year. There's no more reporting from the front lines. We have no idea what's going on. What happened to all the war images? What happened to the decrepit ruins in the buildings? All I see are videos coming out of Ukraine of very wealthy, prosperous young people dancing, going to clubs, living free, rich, excited, happy times. That's all I see coming out of Ukraine. Remember when the war first started? All we would see were these combat images and images on the front line and battles and, families being torn apart, buildings. I don't see that anymore. Is that just a coincidence? Or I don't know, is that just they didn't get good ratings? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. So after that meeting, Trump posted this on Truth Social, and I want to read it to you because the Democrats are absolutely just losing their minds over this. Trump says, no matter what deal I make with respect to Russia, Ukraine, no matter how good it is, even if it's the greatest deal ever made, the failing New York Times will speak badly of it. Little Peter Baker, the very biased and untalented writer for the Times, followed his editor's demands and wrote that Ukraine should get back territory, including, I suppose, Crimea, and other ridiculous requests, because that's all they do. They just support every single, if it's not gangsters, if it's not criminals, if it's not illegal aliens, if it's not the worst of the worst, they're supporting every single country, every single flag except ours. In order to stop the killing that is worse than anything since World War II. Why doesn't this lightweight reporter say that it was Obama who made it possible for Russia to steal Crimea from Ukraine, which they annexed without him even lifting a finger, without even a shot being fired? It was also little Peter who wrote an absolutely fawning yet terribly written biography on Obama. It was a joke. Did Baker ever criticize the Obama Crimea giveaway? No, not once. Only Trump. And I've had nothing to do with this stupid war other than early on when I gave Ukraine javelins and Obama gave them sheets. This is sleepy Joe Biden's war, not mine. It was a loser from day one and should have never happened and wouldn't have happened if I were president at the time. I'm just trying to clean up the mess that was left to me by Obama and Biden. What a mess it is. God bless you, sir. It absolutely is. Here's the part that the Democrats are losing their brainless, heartless minds over. With all of that being said, there was no reason for Putin to be shooting missiles into civilian areas, cities and towns over the last few days. It makes me think that maybe he doesn't want to stop the war. He's just tapping me along and has to be dealt with differently through banking, perhaps, or secondary sanctions. Too many people are dying. So haven't the Democrats been saying this whole time along that Trump is Putin's puppet? Doesn't what he just said right there prove that he's always willing to have an open mind? He's always willing to look at things a second glance. He's always willing to rethink, modify, recalibrate, adapt himself to whatever's happening and what unfolds. And when you're dealing with such immense, huge, world big issues, I mean, the biggest stage of all time, these types of negotiations, agreements, conferences, meetings, intelligence, it's changing at a rapid pace. Don't we want a leader who changes with the times? I mean, Biden couldn't even change his own diaper. And now all of a sudden, oh, see how stupid, see, Putin is playing Trump. What are you talking about, Putin is playing Trump? What in the world are you talking about? Just because he says, hey, I got to talk to this guy, I got to negotiate with this guy, I got to work it out with this guy, he's Trump's puppet, he's a Putin's puppet. Now that he says maybe, just maybe, I mean, the transparency is what we should be celebrating. The malleability in thinking, the adaptability, the willingness to say, I mean, literally, when he says perhaps Putin doesn't want to end the war, he's literally saying, maybe I was wrong before. Maybe peace will take longer. Maybe I need to rethink this. Maybe I need to, take a step back, regroup, look again with a more critical, objective eye, take a deep breath. That's what he's saying. That's what we want from our leaders. We don't want our leaders to just rush into situations where it can affect not millions, but perhaps billions of people. Never mind the fact that the fiscal ramifications are absolutely out of this galaxy. We want a leader who pauses. We want a leader who has that kind of flexibility in thinking, not that rigidity like these Democrats have shown time and time again. Everything, he's right. He's always been right. He's always been right. And that's why the American people have spoken. These Democrats, Trump could cure cancer, and they would call him a racist. Let me have my cancer. Ending my cancer is racism. You're a Nazi. You're a threat to democracy. You're a fascist. It doesn't matter. That is rigidity. That is bureaucratic, feckless, soulless, ballsless, spineless, lack of creativity, lack of living in the real world, mentality, philosophy, and ideology. We want a leader who's willing to take a step back, who's willing to look at all sides, who's willing to actually say, you know what? I said this, before, but now I'm starting to think this. Doesn't mean that I am thinking this, but you know what? I'm open to it. Just like he was open to inviting Bill Maher. Bill Maher has trashed Trump as well as so many other people. He was willing to invite him in. And Bill Maher was, totally mesmerized, totally blown away at how much of a real human, how much of a charismatic, engaging, how much he was willing to listen to him. And then you've got this schmuck on wheels, Larry David, this over the hill, radical propagandist Democrat, Larry David, who's made millions in our country, writing this op-ed piece in the New York Times saying, "My dinner with Adolf," making fun of Maher just for sitting down and having dinner with him. That is rigid, uncreative death. It is death thinking. It is not life. Life is about flexibility. You want physical proof? Have you ever held a living leaf in your hand? What happens when you put it in the palm of your hand and you squeeze it? When you open your hand, what happens? It comes back. It unfolds. Have you ever put a dead leaf that's raw, rigid, cracked, stale in your palm and you close your fist? When you open your fist, what happens? It's broken. It's cracked all over the place in a million pieces. That's the kind of thinking that these Democrats have. I don't know about you, but I want my guy. I voted for every second of this. I love this guy. We, the American people, have spoken. I see you eyeing this, by the way. This is our very own original made in the USA design. You can find it in our shop in the pinned comment. I can't wait to get your thoughts on this. Let me know what you think. Am I wrong? Happy to be wrong. Just let me know. Leave something constructive and thoughtful. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here, just in case you missed it. Tap my face right there to subscribe and follow. It's absolutely free. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless the USA and all who defend her. I'll see you soon. Get your awesome hat now.